back to our channel. Thanks for tuning today's video. So we thought we'd make an updated video from our previous video that we did, I think last week or 2 weeks ago, I forget.
I think it was last week.
Last week. So, oh, we forgot to introduce ourselves to the new folks that are on our channel. I'm Linda.
Elliot.
We're gonna touch up on our last video that we made 1 or 2 weeks ago. Basically expressing our opinion on the virus. We can't say the name because YouTube won't monetize our video. But so we're gonna touch up on the virus video that we did last week or 2 weeks ago. We basically just stated our opinion and we didn't think it was gonna be as serious as it is now. So we're just gonna touch up on it and express our opinions and thoughts to you guys now at the state that it is at the moment.
Just really an updated video because
yeah,
the last video was about a week, maybe 10 days ago.
Yeah. We didn't think it was gonna get this serious.
Yeah, and basically, well, I don't think we noticed any difference because a lot of our work is actually at home. Mm-hmm. But just watching the news, it's just...
You might have to speak up. Elliot has a soft voice. I have a louder voice.
I have to speak up because I spoke like this last time.
Last time it was closer. But we can try. Go ahead.
I think you're gonna sound really loud though.
Alright, so what were you saying?
Before I rudely got interrupted, as always, life with Linda.
Don't always interrupt.
Anyways, so what I was saying, so basically our lives hasn't changed too much in terms of, we just know it's been getting a little bit worse just because we've both been following the news and the governments are kind of going a little crazy in terms of trying to put money into the citizens of Canada, even in the States. It's actually worse out in the States, but it is actually becoming a pretty bad situation where the number of cases are increasing, the deaths are increasing, so people are actually panicking and getting really scared, which is a very scary situation.
Yeah. No, nothing, like, just like from our last video, nothing still hasn't really changed in terms of our lifestyle, other than obviously the gym and all that stuff, but we do work at home constantly, so nothing in that matter has changed. Did you want to touch up on some people being unemployed? Like, there's also like, it's just kind of gotten a little crazy now because, as you all know, everything's shut down basically except for essential stores. So a lot of people are unemployed. We are in real estate, so we do have properties basically, and we have tenants that can't really afford to pay sometimes because of this crisis, I guess.
Yeah. So you had something else?
No. I guess I'm not the only one who interrupts.
No, I waited.
Okay, go ahead.
So just kind of adding on to that, I guess the biggest issue is the unemployment. The Canadian government is trying to get some money into the citizens, and I know that there is a relief package coming available next week. Everybody that has been affected by this virus can apply and get, I think it's $2,000 a month, which is paid bi-weekly. I believe it will start 10 days after you apply, which is great because, you know, when tons, thousands, probably millions of people are unemployed, like, you know, it's nice to know that the government has your back and going to support.
Yeah.
I've just been noticing, obviously we're supposed to stay inside, and we do, like, probably 80–90% of the time.
I stay inside.
Way more.
98%.
Yes. But I need to go out, like, you know,
yeah,
just day to day, well, not day to day, but throughout the week. And I do notice the banks, most of the banks are closed, and then there's certain ones are open, and they have like lineups down the street, right? And it's pretty crazy. It takes me like almost 45 minutes just to deposit checks. stuff like that. And I know the first was pretty busy because I had to go to the bank to deposit checks. So that was a very long process. The one thing I personally want to touch up on, it's not more so, is there anything else in terms of the topic we're talking about?
No.
So on the business side, on our business, the real estate really hasn't been impacted. I spoke to a couple of property managers that manages some of our buildings that we have. A couple of them have said some of the tenants might be late or they are having problems not paying, but basically what they do is they send them the government kind of package website, so they can, like, once it becomes available, they can sign up and, you know, get all their financials straightened out. But since the first passed, I'm a little surprised in terms of how many tenants actually paid, and we actually didn't really see a huge difference in terms of the amount of tenants that paid between or from the amount that are just, you know, usually kind of late and takes a few days to pay. But yeah, which was pretty surprising to me. But there are, because we do have some commercial spaces, there were, I think, one out of a handful of them had a huge issue and they couldn't pay, and we're trying to work out a deal with them. Personally, we just don't want them to kind of get into a situation where they're going to be behind for a long time. That's all. So we want to work with them, and we do our best to work with them, but obviously it is a business in terms of, well, I'm going to cut that out. I don't want to sound too harsh.
No, what he's trying to say is just we want to work with them, but it is a business though. Like, at the end of the day, like, we have mortgages to pay. Like, there's actually this huge debate right now going on about, oh, tenants shouldn't pay rent.
Yeah.
But, like, landlords need to pay their mortgage, and not all landlords are millionaires.
Yeah.
Some landlords only have a few properties and they can't afford to pay all of those mortgages. Yes, you need to have reserves and such, but being in a safe place to live, a roof over your head, is essential in my opinion. And it's okay to work out a deal or to work out discounts with the tenants to help them, but to completely cut off rental payment is not good and not okay, because then, well, mortgages should also freeze their payments. It just doesn't really...
Not just freeze, but like...
Or
be
stop.
A write-off.
Yeah,
right?
be a write-off.
Which wouldn't be the case.
Yeah, there's some places in the States where they're telling everyone to just not pay rent. That makes zero sense to me. Obviously, it doesn't really make much sense to me either, because we're landlords, so... In our position, we have to pay mortgages, obviously, but we're also tenants. Like, we also know that rent is essential and rent is supposed to be due on time, and if it's not, then work something out. Like, it's not something, like, we never thought once, oh, well, we shouldn't pay rent.
Oh, for sure. And even if we were in, for example, a state in the US that allowed us not to pay, we wouldn't just exercise that just because we could, just because we understand how business works, right? And as a couple, it's our duty to be financially secure in terms of having a reserve and putting money aside for a rainy day. And this is a rainy day. So
in terms of my online business, nothing's really changed. Actually, sales have been pretty good because everyone's at home, so they're just spending money, I guess. So nothing's really changed for me, except I just have to find new suppliers, which I have, so I'm going to be fulfilling orders soon. And I am going to make some changes because of this crisis moving forward for my business, so it's more effective and it works out at the end. So if anything like this happened again, I wouldn't be stuck looking for something else or looking for new suppliers. So nothing's really changed in that aspect other than that.
I think it's like some people, I can probably guess that they're probably at home binging Netflix or, you know, playing video games, but you have to understand, all this will pass, and what I really understand is, like, this is an opportunity to actually become someone or do something different, because you understand that, you know, this situation could happen down the road in a couple of years again, right? And are you going to be prepared next time?
It shocks me. It shocks me because people are complaining, right, about paying rent. People are complaining about all these types of things, but they're not doing anything. They're sitting at home watching Netflix, doing whatever, binge eating, not staying healthy, not being active, not looking for other ways to make money. Like, this should be a wake-up call for everyone. Everyone should be reevaluating their life, rethinking about what they could do next to better themselves and better their future. So this is an amazing opportunity for everyone, or majority of people that have 9-to-5 jobs. Now that they stay at home for weeks on end, educate yourself, better yourself in some kind of way, and find a way to make some income at home. So then when you return back to your job, you have something else alongside of it that will bring you income residually. So if this happens again, you're fine, you're good. You can pay rent, you can pay the things that you need for your monthly essentials. Life would just be so much easier at that point, and you wouldn't have to blame everyone else for struggling. Because everyone's complaining. Like, that's all I hear, complaints everywhere you go, basically, on how you shouldn't pay this, you shouldn't pay that, this is a pandemic. Like, that's why the government's helping you, first of all. So excuses like that shouldn't really be happening, but I also get it. It is tough times, but you have to work around it. You have to find a solution. Complaining about it and being sad and miserable about it is just not going to change the situation. Doing something about it where you might, you know, potentially have a better situation in the future is key, in my opinion.
And I guess the last thing I want to say is just the fact that if you're that person at home and kind of wondering what to do, just, you know, this is a pandemic, and yes, things are bad right now, but things are always going to become better, right? When it rains, it's going to eventually shine. But you also want to try to limit the amount of complaining you're doing, just as Linda says, because when you complain, you're technically, you know, giving your power away, right? When you stop complaining and you ask yourself, what can I do? How can I solve this? And it can be anything, financially or, you know, physically, whatever, right? You're at home, you have the time, and I know if you're in Canada, you're going to get some income. Yeah, it might not be the income you're, you know, used to, but it's going to be some to tide you over. What can you do to kind of put yourself in a position, if this ever happened again, you're going to be better off?
Yeah.
So
finding solutions instead of problems is a really great trait to have and to practice daily. So we touched up on our last video that we didn't think we were going to hit a recession.
We're in a recession.
Yeah, we are currently in a recession. So we definitely, I guess we didn't do, or I guess it was too early early to really know. We just thought it wasn't that serious and it was gonna blow over really quickly, but it's definitely not. It's dragging on for some time now, and I think it's still gonna keep dragging on. I think actually they were talking about how it was gonna hit its peak in the next 2 weeks of like cases. But yeah, we're definitely in a recession. The government's trying to avoid getting into a depression. And if you guys don't know what that is, that just means that a recession lasts, what, 4 to 6 months?
Yeah, so
and then a depression is how long?
Shorter depressions, like usually years.
Depression takes years to recoup, go back to normal. And a recession is just shorter term. So we are in a recession. Hopefully we do not get into a depression, but if we do, then we do. We just have to figure it out then. But is that it for the video?
Yeah, that's all I gotta say.
So yeah, guys, that's basically it for this video. Thanks for tuning in. I hope that this was informative to you guys. I hope that it was an eye-opener to some of you guys as well. Drop a comment down below if you agree or disagree with this video. I'd love to chat with you and to express our opinions. So thanks so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed, and we will see you in our next video.